Welcome back. This is Brighter Morning with Bo, and I am Bo Tiwari. And my guest this morning is the High Commissioner of India to Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Arun Kumar Sahu, and we'll have a conversation with him now. High Commissioner, how are you?
Good morning. Good morning to all of
Raise
you.
the volume so we can hear him better, please. We'll do it on this side, High Commissioner.
Okay.
Good to see you. I saw you recently when you had a wonderful occasion in which you had a number of speakers to basically address the issue from different perspectives on the relevance of Mahatma Gandhi and his work to modern society. I wanted to start with that and ask you, why did you do this, and what is the significance of your doing that at this time?
As you know, Dr. Tiwari, Mahatma Gandhi, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, is probably the first political leader in the whole world who adopted something which was very different from his time. It was during the First World War that he launched non-cooperation and non-violence. Today, the concept of non-violence has garnered enormous support globally, and people are realizing the value of non-violence and peace, and the method that Gandhiji actually adopted to fight colonialism. And in today's context, today's global context, if I can say, there are two issues which are very relevant to what Gandhiji had said. One is the social justice, and second was the global peace. Social justice, for example, for Gandhiji will mean social fairness and equitable distribution of resources. Striving for equity and fairness, and then also particular regard to the marginalized section and vulnerable. These are this is international. This is not only confined to a particular geography, but if when we see the whole world, this is one of the biggest issues. And then global peace, you of course know, but Gandhi's view of global peace is very unique actually. It was, for example, it will mean absence of conflict and war and abolition of all forms of tyranny. I think he's the only person who has talked about this tyranny aspect of a global peace, and he doesn't make a distinction between just and unjust wars. And then he also analyzes the causes of conflict around the world, of inequality, racism, and exploitation, and which must be fought, and all forms of tyranny must be abolished. So I think these are very progressive concepts and progressive ideas which he had given at that time, and which have global relevance. So I just wanted, as you know, in Trinidad and Tobago, when I travel and interact with people, they have tremendous respect for Gandhi, and I think their living is conditioned by many of these Gandhian values. Gandhi never visited here personally, but he had sent C.F. Andrews, his emissary, in I think 1930 to understand the situation and the plight of indentured here, and overall situation here. I think so. Gandhi, as you drive from north to south, Port of Spain to Saguanas to San Fernando, you will find Gandhi present in people's heart. So I just wanted the Mahatma Gandhi Center in Mahatma Gandhi Center for Cultural Cooperation for us here is named after Mahatma Gandhi. So I think what I thought is his ideals and his concepts should be given more clarity and contemporary relevance. So that is why we organized this, and you were also part of the speakers, contributed to it. It was a immensely, I think, useful seminar in which speakers actually dealt with various aspects, different aspects
Very
of
different,
Gandhiji's
yes.
life and his views. I think that is why we did it.
Okay, thank you very much for that explanation and exposition. I think it takes us to an important place where we are now. You're talking about the messages and the important considerations that Gandhi raised in India and resonate internationally. We've been living with COVID now for nearly 2 years, and we have seen a lot of the inequities and vulnerabilities because of COVID. And one of the ironies of all of this is that the inequities and inequalities existed among countries, and that was known. You had a so-called developed world, you had a developing world, you had a least developed world. But I think it finally hit people that you have a lot of vulnerabilities in the so-called wealthy countries. You have a lot of inequality in the wealthy countries. You have many inequities in the wealthy countries. And these issues have become more highlighted now, and the issues of social justice have become very, very critical. The other issue is that the issue of democracy itself has become an issue now in COVID, and you mentioned the issue of tyranny, and Gandhi had taken a position that tyranny was not something that should be tolerated. And that is another factor which has emerged. And you mentioned the issue of global peace and lack of conflict. We had recently the United States, for instance, and their allies pulling out of Afghanistan after a 20-year war. And you have a situation in which the whole world has begun to realize that nothing is solved by a warlike intervention in a country. And so you think that those ideas of Gandhi, of social justice, of no tolerance for tyranny, and his dream of a world without conflict and without wars, you think that has more resonance now
Today.
after
Yeah.
COVID and the consciousness that has arisen because of these things?
Yes, I do. And post COVID, COVID had taught us one thing, that national solutions cannot be enough for international problems. And, we have to see our overall existence in nature, existence of human being in nature in such a way that there is a balance of our existence, the ecosystem, and the nature itself. I think Gandhi has a very strong views on that. That each economic unit at the grassroots level must try to satisfy its need according to the availability of the local resources, and not go for greed. So basically, if we extrapolate that concept, then I think many of the things that we do today, or do consume today, is for greed, and not for our need. So I think that is the overall message that he was trying to give at that time, that uh, people, units, organizations, nations, should raise themselves above the pure, let's say, individual interest, and then think of global welfare.
Yes, I think he was very, very strong on utilization of available resources. He was very strong on local and community and village
Yeah.
development. And he was, when you think of the world now in a fundamental way, the whole world is into this issue of sustainability. But
Sustainability. Yeah.
Mahatma Gandhi was into sustainability in the 1930s, no? As he was building his movement to address the issue of colonial domination and power and control by the British in India. Yeah?
Yes. Yes. I think. Yeah.
Okay, what about the contemporary period? I mean, he operated in 1930s, 1940s. India got independence in 1947.
47. Yeah.
And that started the process of decolonization from the British all over the world. It spread into Africa and it came to the Caribbean. Eventually, most Commonwealth countries opted for independence, and the example was given by India. But India today, in this very complex world in which we are living, has some contemporary challenges. What would you say are the major challenges that India has to deal with today?
As India is a very diverse country, 1.3 billion population. You have, 22 official languages, and you have many faiths living there. But if you ask me, two biggest challenge that India has today is one, I think, balanced economic development, and two, human resource development. Balanced economic development, because we don't, in our growth process, I think, being a huge population, we cannot leave any part of any section of the society behind. So that is why balanced economic development. And we are the youngest nation of the world. Almost 50% of the 1.3 billion population is under 25 years of age. So unless you cultivate those resources and skill them, and prepare them for a future globalized economic world, I think that is those two, for me, are the biggest challenges that we have. And post pandemic, of course, they have their significance has increased now.
Yes, of course. But that is a real asset that you have, though, that half your population is so young. And
Yeah.
once that human resource capacity is developed, it can make a big difference, not only to India, but to the world, because India does contribute to the entire world system. I want to raise an issue. I mean, the people of Indian descent in Trinidad and Tobago, like myself and others, are part of spread of the Indian diaspora. So I am fourth generation Trinidadian now, solidly so, very committed to my country. But my great grandfather on my great grandfather on my father's side came from India. My grandfather on my and great grandmother on my mother's side came here from India in the 1880s. So these diaspora populations are national populations of the country in which they reside, but they are part of the diaspora of India. And the diaspora India has been paying attention to quite significantly over the last 20 or 25 years or so. Can you talk a little bit about this relationship between India and the Indian diaspora across the world?
Yeah. Uh, India is a civilization, as you know, more than 5,000 years of history. But many people during this period have actually come to India, and many people, because of various reasons, have also moved out of India. So the diaspora is one part of that which has moved out of India because of certain reasons and the conditions in the colonial India. But as I have said in the past also, that we consider anyone who has Indian ancestry as they are part of India. So essentially, we don't make a distinction in terms of the sentimental existence or the civilizational existence of those people and us. I have also said that India is like a banyan tree. If you have seen a banyan tree, there are root and stems, and those stems also become the supporting root of the main root of that tree. So whoever has left India has taken a piece of India in his heart and established himself in a new nation, which is his motherland, and where they have flourished, but they have kept the spirit of India, the culture of India alive in those places. In fact, many of the practices, uh, Indian practices, I got to know after coming to Trinidad and Tobago. So I think the whole idea of India in the last 20, 25 years, as you said, is to connect all of them to the ancestral land. Many people, when I meet them, they say that we have a desire or aspiration that once in our lifetime we must visit India and see from where our ancestors came. So we have various to encourage all this. We have various schemes that we have floated. One of the biggest scheme that you probably know is overseas citizenship of India. So this is like a passport, but it's not a full passport. It's not. It doesn't give you full citizenship of India, but it gives you all privileges of an Indian citizens to live, stay, visit, visa free, and do business and remain connected with India. So many people who have applied for overseas citizenship uh, of India card. We have supplied them. I am also under the program called India at Your Doorstep. I'm encouraging local Trinidadians to apply for that so that you don't have to ask for visa every time you go to India. And then we have something called No India program for senior citizens, which is we call Tirth or pilgrimage. But we have also No India program for the younger crowd, younger generation, who are tech savvy, who want to get connected with the science and technology development that has happened in India. So we encourage them. So there are two types of No India program. Then we have the Indian Technical and Economic Cooperation Program, which is a very successful program in Trinidad and Tobago, irrespective of your ethnicity. These professionals go to India and fully funded by government of India, go and stay in India, brush their skills, and then come back. They have very good words to say. I think what we want is that everybody and anybody who wants to be part of the Indian story, we want to encourage them to be part of it. And in 21st century, if you see uh, the biggest democracy of the world, and how people live there in diversity and such a huge population. And I think there is no better place for anybody to experience democracy in that vibrancy in 21st century other than India.
All right. I'm going to ask you something about the civilizational issue that you raised. The fact that there is such a thing as an Indian civilization that is separate and distinct from any religion or any any narrow perspective, because it is a civilization that, in the concept of Bharat, thousands of years ago, expanded way beyond where India existed now. It expanded into Indonesia, into China, into Japan, into other parts of the world. And the diaspora has extended that reach because of the sugar plantations and the sugar industry globally, following enslavement of African people and emancipation. And this civilizational issue is a very important one, I think, from India's point of view, but also from the point of view of someone of Indian descent who might want to feel connected if they are disconnected, or who might want to strengthen that connection. Could you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, it's a huge concept that you actually touched on. Uh, One of the four major civilizations of the world, one of them is India, and it has, as I said, more than 5,000 years of history. It started from naturalism to Sanatan Dharma to the Vedic era. Then Jainism came, Buddhism started there, and then Islam came, and and then we had 200 years of colonization, and then modern India for the last 75 years. So and we Indians, how why we connect in any part of the world with anyone else is essentially because we are, as an independent nation, we are 75-year-old, but as people, I think we are product of those 3,000, 4,000 years of vibrant cultural semblance that India has gone through. And in our life, day-to-day life, uh, we are a combination of all kinds of traditions that the world is actually seeing and experienced. So you in India, you have all kinds of faiths who live there. We have all kinds of literary tradition. You have singing tradition. You have the worshipping tradition. I think that is maybe one of the reasons why anybody who travels from any part of the world to India, after a few hours, feels very comfortable that, oh, this is a place where he can find part of his own identity in India. I think India makes you discover how uh, you know human development and progress in terms of cultural progression has happened. I think that is one of the biggest thing. And that is how, as you know, the diaspora in Caribbean, in other parts, it's a huge community, actually. Almost, I think, 30 million people in almost 30 different countries are living. And I have not seen a single one, at least I have not met in my lifetime any single one who has not been emotionally and sentimentally connected to India. I think, and any chance they find, they at least visit India once to see where it is. So that's the biggest bond that we have. And of course, in modern human history, while the whole world is actually going through conflict and strife and war, Mahatma Gandhi was the only leader who started a very innovative, a new method of resistance, and there was no solution for that. So I think, in that sense, also the land of India becomes very symbolic to the rest of the world, and people want to know that how come, when the whole world was actually fighting with each other, how come there was a naked fakir, popularly told at that time by the dominant forces, that how somebody can think in a diametrically very opposite way to fight violence. So I think, in today's world, people also want to feel, uh, experience that with the land of non-violence. So I think that is how the civilizational existence of India and its attraction. And of course, if you will find some of the, not only some of the most beautiful temples of the world, you will also find some of the most beautiful mosques and churches, and institutions of other faith in India. So that is where we are.
All right. No, thank you very much. And I want to say thanks also for that beautiful cultural center that you have established in Trinidad and Tobago as a gift to the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes.
I only saw that cultural center on the inside this last week. I knew that it had been built, but because of COVID and so on, even though you had functions there, you invited people, a lot of people were very cautious about going out during the COVID period. And I looked at that center from the inside, and it's very large, first of all, and secondly, it's very, very beautiful, and it's very nicely done. And I want to thank you on behalf of, thank the government of India for that gift to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And it's a center that is used for culture and education, development of
Yeah.
civilization, really.
Dr. Tiwari, that is the biggest cultural center that the government of India has built outside
Anywhere in
India.
the world,
In the whole world, yes,
outside of India.
outside of India.
Yes, that is
And
wonderful. We're going to take a break now for commercials, but when I come back, I want to bring you to Trinidad and Tobago and some of the issues here. I want to ask you about Diwali, which connects us to India, of course, and the fact that that is a national holiday, national festival in Trinidad and Tobago. It has a lot of energy in it, as you know, in Trinidad and Tobago. And I want to ask you a little bit about its perhaps tourist potential, because we are so located in the Western Hemisphere and in the Western world. Okay? So when we come back, we'll talk about that a little bit. We break now for commercials, and we ask you to stay with us as we talk to the High Commissioner for India in Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Arun Kumar Sahu. Thank you for watching. This is Brighter Morning with Bo. I am Bo Tiwari, and this is MCTV, Multicultural TV.
Welcome to Lifetime Solutions, where you can trust your roof to us. Our services include custom fabrication, steel framing, roofing installation, on-site roll forming, roofing maintenance and services. Call 223-ROOF or 223-7663 for a quote today, or visit our website www.lifetimesolutionstt.com. Lifetime Solutions. You can trust your roof to us. Call 223-ROOF or 223-7663 for a quote today, or visit our website www.lifetimesolutionstt.com.
As we celebrate the festival of light over darkness, let Magic Mist Services Limited take away the hassle of your Diwali home cleaning and maintenance needs. With our team of professional service team members, we will ensure your home receives the magic touch. Give us a call today at 638-6675 or 332-5522. Shub Diwali from Magic Mist Services Limited.
You did the right thing. So now we're giving you things. Republic Bank thanks you and wants to reward you for getting vaxxed. Win $5,000 in prizes every week, plus one of 2 cars in December. You took care of your health, and now we're taking care of you. $5,000 and a chance to win a car. See press and log on to republictt.com for details.
Mangalese Trading Company Limited. Specialist in PVC ceiling, gypsum ceiling, suspended ceilings, medallions, lights, metal framings, and SPCS flooring, known as vinyl plank. Now introducing Mangalese Foods, wholesale and retail, distributor of the family brand food items. Our range of products include rice, sugar, chickpeas, split peas, and soybean oil. Mangalese Foods deliver exceptional products. We offer timely and efficient service. We are located at 9 Francis Lala Road, Charlieville, Chaguanas. Contact us at 672-9889, 740-5569, or 336-4373. Mangalese Trading Company Limited.
Thank you for staying with us. This is Brighter Morning with Bo and Bo Tiwari, and we are talking to the High Commissioner for India, Mr. Arun Kumar Sahu. High Commissioner, I mean, you've been here for a little while now, so you have seen Diwali celebrations in Trinidad. That has been dampened by the COVID pandemic, and a lot of the outdoor activities that we are accustomed to, we can't do anymore. So in a sense, Diwali has retreated in the homes, but eventually this will be over, and the vitality of the celebration of Diwali will come back, and we'll have, you know, all the things that we do, the bending of bamboos, the outdoor activities, the lighting of diyas in the parks, Diwali Nagar, all of those things. Do you think that there is tourist potential for Diwali in a place like Trinidad and Tobago, located as it is right on the doorstep of South America and in the heart of the Western Hemisphere? And secondly, do you think that the cultural retentions that have been part of the presence of Trinidadians of Indian descent here, do you think that that can make a difference as a tourism product, especially in this part of the world, in this Western Hemisphere, with Western Hemisphere tourists?
Yeah, I think Diwali, as for us in India, we are a country of festivals. So all over the year, we keep on celebrating something or other.
Oh,
But
nice.
Diwali and Holi, as you know, are two biggest and most popular festivals. And, there are history behind it. There are mythologies. There are, literature around this. And I'm really touched when I came. You were right. When in 2019, after my arrival, I actually arrived here just before Diwali. So 2019 Diwali, which was I think organized by NCIC here, I could see how you do it, how you celebrate it, and how passionately and how intimately you actually celebrate Diwali and do Lakshmi Puja and other things in And definitely, I think as a cultural product, you are saying in the Western Hemisphere, this could be a biggest one of the biggest attractions for people who want to know, who want to be part of Indian culture, Indian celebration, and definitely it is there. But the essence of, as you know, Diwali is the diya or the lights, lights, and light is, or diya is actually symbolic of the victory of uh, 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 light over darkness, good over evil, and knowledge over ignorance. And India as a civilization over the years, I think over the centuries, has insisted or protected on two aspects. One is transmission of knowledge, gyan, we call it in Sanskrit
Yes.
gyan. uh, it's not only the degrees and all this, but the overall understanding of human being, your existence, and also the knowledge, and how we transmit it to the next generation. And that is one. And the family values, in whatever form we are, these are the two strongest pillars of Indian existence. And all these festivals reinforces that we inherit many of the things. Not only Holi, Diwali, there are various regional festivals. We have harvest festivals. We have also
Come.
the Eid, Christmas, and all this. But ultimately, it's the Indian existence or Indian way of life. If I express you in three short Sanskrit sentence, these are called Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamosoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrutyurma Amrutangamaya. So, oh God, take me from darkness to light.
The light, yeah.
And that whole spirit of give me enlightenment and give me immortality. All these are the spirit of Diwali. And anywhere in the world, people of Indian descent or their friends, in fact in the West now, I could see that Indian families are joined by their non-Indian friends and extended family members who really enjoy the whole spirit of Diwali celebration. And it is not only Diwali; also the other festivals like Holi is a very popular festival in Western Hemisphere. In
High,
other parts, you can see.
High Commissioner,
So I
we've got to close up the program now and break for the news. But before we go, I want to give you the last word. What would you say are the priorities for India and its future now in terms of national goal and its international perspective? Just a 30-second response to that, and we could explore that another time.
As I said, our two main goals are balanced economic development and human resource development. And for that, what the focused areas that we have is science and technology, medicine, new renewable energy, biotechnology, genetic engineering, all those space sciences. Then
Yes.
higher education and training, and then essentially take India in the next 2 decades or so to a level where our economic development is commensurate to our potential, and also which meets the requirement of our population. And then at the same time also we believe in Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina. So India is there to contribute in whatever way for global peace and understanding. And Dr. Tiwari, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. And on this occasion, through your channel, I would also like to wish all Trinbagonians a very happy Diwali to all of you. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
And Shub Diwali to you too, High Commissioner, and all your people at the High Commissioner.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you very much for watching. This is Brighter Morning with Bo. We've been talking to the High Commissioner for India in Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Arun Kumar Sahu. Thank you very much for staying with us, for watching, for listening, for taking part. This is Brighter Morning with Bo. I am Bo Tiwari. We break now with Andrew Chan for the news. MC.